Steve Okun is a senior advisor at McClarty Associates. He served as Deputy General Counsel at the U.S. Department of Transportation under President Bill Clinton. He joins us now from Singapore. Good to have you with us. So let's go through this. First of all, how do you think the Vice President is likely to react when he gets that House resolution asking him to basically remove Donald Trump from office?
Well, it's not just up to the vice president. It's the vice president and half the cabinet has to do it. It's very unlikely that this is going to happen. It's not really what the 25th Amendment was designed for. This came after John Kennedy's assassination, where a president would have been incapable of carrying out his office. Here, Donald Trump is doing what he is doing unlawfully. So it's difficult to see Vice President Pence doing it for constitutional reasons and for political reasons. So it probably will not occur, his removal for the 25th Amendment.
Okay, I guess that isn't a huge surprise. Has anything happened in the last 24 hours to change the assumption that he also, or rather Congress, in terms of the Senate at least, would likely not uphold an impeachment move by the House?
Well, what's changed now is that the House is going to move forward and impeach him, and Donald Trump will be only the first president to ever been impeached twice. Then the trial is undertaken by the Senate. No Senate has ever convicted a president and found him guilty of the impeachable offenses. But what will happen here is that there will be a delay before the House brings those articles of impeachment to the Senate, because it's so important for Joe Biden to be able to hit the ground running. Joe Biden needs the Senate's full attention to get all of his nominees confirmed. He needs the Senate's attention to get the legislation passed that the United States needs to address COVID from a stimulus perspective. So the delay will happen in the Senate trial. Who knows what the situation in the country will be like 100 days from now? In the meantime, the Justice Department will likely take federal criminal action against then former President Trump for his incitement of insurrection, for his conspiracy on sedition, and for multiple other federal crimes that President Trump has committed, not only in the past week, but over the past 4 years.
Talking of the president, why has he gone relatively silent? He hasn't released a statement or held a press briefing in, I think, a couple of days at least.
Well, remember, of course, that his Twitter account was taken away from him. And that was his main mode of communication. So he has lost that. He doesn't want to go in front of the press because he will get grilled over all of his actions that he has taken in the past few days. So he's just sitting in the White House, from all press accounts, stewing, furious at the vice president. Not only has he not talked to the press, he hasn't talked to the vice president of the United States since the vice president was basically, in a bunker trying to avoid all of these people who were trying to overthrow the government. So it is an awful situation in Washington. The president is not doing anything. And in some ways, basically, the best we can hope for is the president doesn't do anything until he is out of office, and then we'll let the Congress and the courts take it from there.
A lot of the focus now is asking the question, what will Congress do next? What will Mike Pence do next? Should we also be looking at what some of the Trump supporters might do next, especially if impeachment moves begin again against him?
Well, I think it's a threat with or without impeachment. There is already talk of other demonstrations coming on January 17th, which is the kickoff of inaugural week, on Inauguration Day itself, not just in Washington, D.C., but in state capitals across the United States. It is a very frightening time, and to not have the commander-in-chief ensuring that the National Guard is called out and protecting the transfer of power is very, it's unprecedented, and it's very dangerous. So it really is a very difficult time. There's only so much that the Congress can do in the meantime, and we have to hope that the country is now prepared, as it was not prepared on January 6th for what happened at the Congress when the certification of Joe Biden as president occurred.
All right. Thanks so much for your thoughts on that, Steve Okun.